Do that immediately. 4 tips that will change your life in Palworld forever. Stay tuned for that. What's up, guys? I'm Franky Boy. On this channel I am covering everything regarding open world RPGs such as Palworld. Hello and welcome to the channel. Yup, and I just destroyed my second camp down there, which was a stone and wood camp, and I honestly didn't need it anymore because I have a perfect recommendation for you guys. If you hit level 15, you can immediately get a ore, coal, wood and stone camp that won't be attacked. Yes, you heard that right. So tip number 1, it's quite a simple, quick tip. As soon as you hit level 15, get the Nightwing saddle, get a Nightwing and saddle up. You will need that to do tip number 2, so that's the recommendation here. You need to be able to fly, that's the point. So now you're able to fly, you simply pack your bags. You pack in some wood, some stone, some pallium fragments and pal fluids, please. And yeah, you won't need anything else than that, maybe some ingots. And then you will go ahead and use your map and go to this location right here. Well, actually, we're building a base. This is tip number 2 at the coordinates 200 and -32. That's where we're heading. So the idea is to use your Nightwing flying mount and fly up this hill right here on my map I just showed you. And you can see what I am creating here. It's a working camp for my pals. And it's super awesome because we have coal. At the back right here, we have ore, we have trees, and we don't have stone, but we don't need that because we are, of course, able to craft a stone camp if we need that. If you want stone, then you can, of course, just use the stone pit and logging site as well if you want to. So the idea is the following. You make your pal box right here, and if you put it right there, like in this hill, you will be able to open this chest and use the teleport at the same time. Sometimes it's not possible because of area restrictions. You can't put the chest super close to the management, to the pal management normally, but in this case it can be done if it's like halfway stuck under this hill. And you can now just take everything you have right here and use the teleport, port to your next base where you use the same trick, of course, to not have to move, and you can just take anything you want from here. And as you can see, they are farming for me passively. Like, you don't have to come back. Why is this base so awesome? It's on a hill. It won't be attacked. Yep, that's right. Because the enemies, they won't come up here because it's just too steep and they can't come up. So there's no possibility for them to do so. Well, right at the start when I found a new base, I always like get myself a building troop of some monkeys, etc. Then I try to get rid of all of the trees, or some of the trees in this case. And the ultimate goal is to put in the following: many hangers or killer mars as carriers. You can also use vanworms, awesome carriers, but they seem to like die super often because they are so huge. Then you want some dig toys, and they should all be like circling around the ore and coal. And if you don't need wood, you won't have a wood chopper, but you can of course use like a memorest for some wood chopping and ore mining skills. Second thing you need is of course 15 beds, and just build them somewhere, doesn't matter. Also as well a feed box and someone to take care of the field and feed those. And normally they should be able to feed themselves with just one field. It totally depends on who is harvesting, etc. But you can of course use a flower bed for increased gathering speed, stump and axe for increased logging, and a silo for increased planting speed, and of course the pickaxe and helmet. And if you have that, then everything will just be fine. You of course want as well this pit, a bath for your pals, so they don't get sick too often and you don't have to replace them constantly or heal them, which is very time consuming. So you need one watering guy, one guy who's of course available for planting and harvesting, like getting those, and you want a lot of transporters. Like this setup right here, it's far from perfect. I would rather go with, I think, 5 dig toys, maybe 7 hangers, 1 robin quill and 1 fuck, and maybe 1 fox sparks for like igniting fires if you want so. And that's basically it. I'm still working on my dream setup for this, so I can get tons and tons of coal, which is super handy. Oh, and yeah, there's always like some stuff lying around. I can already see that I don't have enough carriers yet. So where do you get those? Dig toys? Pretty easy. The habitat is in the desert over here on the left or on the north. Or you can also use Tombat for carrying, of course. Tombat is also available, but dying quite frequently. It's super huge and gets stuck behind things. Hang-Use, you can find those in the desert as well. The same goes for the dig toys, the perfect mining pal. In my opinion, you all of course want those and want to farm the desert a lot to get those. But that's just the dream setup. You can of course like use some other specialized pals beforehand, and it will be a little bit slower, or a lot slower of course, but you simply start out with this point. It's awesome. You have everything you need, like almost any material except for like ores, and you can find those in mines or the desert as well. Like sulfur and quicksilver, I think it's called. And yeah, you can simply go here, take your stuff, and then port back to your normal base and use it right here to your advantage. Pretty awesome method in my opinion. I love it. And I think it's super smart to have like those satellite bases working for your main base. Tip number 3, weapon upgrades. Oh my god. I made a huge mistake because I thought like, what are these for? Why would I need them? Those like refined armor schematics, etc. And I just recently noticed the crossbow is like 50% more damage in uncommon than the normal one. I didn't even notice those were recipes for crafting new better versions of the weapon. I think it's like kind of not in your face, and you have to have them on you, and then you go to the workbench and then you can see up, yeah, I can craft an uncommon crossbow, and not only the normal one, which is 50% damage increase, which is like 50% decrease of ammo usage for the same damage, which is super efficient. And this game, it's all about efficiency, of course. Well, not of course, but the way I play it. Oh yeah, I can get the Giga Glider right now. Let me craft it. Super nice. Simply take care. If you have those recipes, use them. I wasn't aware of that, and I'm super angry about it. Because of course, it's simply my fault that I didn't look through it carefully enough. And tip number 4, you should right now like defend your base. Starting off from level 25-30, those raids of enemies, they become very brutal, and I don't like the aesthetics of the defense structures. I don't like that at all, but they are super handy. You can create like a wall with a hole, and then you funnel all those enemies through this, and you can like planter it with mines or throw in grenades. Those defensive structures, they are super useful. Or simply make the tactic I made for this sky base. Put your main base in the air, and then you don't care. Except for maybe air raids. Sometimes there's birds coming at you, but that rarely happens, and most of the time it will work just fine, and your pals don't even have to defend themselves. Alright, those were the 4 tips. I hope I could help you guys out with that, and I will speak to you in the next Palworld video. Check out the other one I just created, or this one. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I speak to you in the next video. Goodbye.